quick walk around of my Rubicon Gladiator. This isn't going to be some miraculous video where you learn tons about the vehicle. There are loads of videos on YouTube already about the Gladiator. This is just an introduction to our vehicles, my vehicle in particular, what I've done with it, how I like to use it, and a little bit about what our plans are for the future. So thanks for watching, and let's get started. The front, you can see I've changed the bumper. I've got the metal cloak stubby bumper with the little wings on it. It's a much superior bumper to the stock plastic bumper for sure. Super easy to install, very little modifications to the Jeep. I think we had to cut one little corner in two places for it to fit, otherwise it just fits right on. These are the stock fog lights out of the stock bumper. I guess probably the hardest part of the install was pulling the wiring for those fog lights out of the stock bumper, because it had to come completely apart. They didn't much care for that. Went with the Smittybilt XRC winch, 12,000 pound. It's got synthetic rope, got the factor 55 clevis going here. Nothing super fancy, but the Smittybilt winches are phenomenal. It fits perfect, it was easy to install, and works flawlessly. Naturally, we've got the recovery hitches here. That's kind of a must. And one thing I think you saw in Landon's video, but just a responsible thing to do here, zip tie these recovery latches to your bumper. Last thing you want is to be driving down the interstate at 70 miles an hour and this thing come flying off and hit somebody else's car. Now this next thing really, I guess, is the biggest thing that I want to point out. We'll look under here and see if you can see. Can you see the modification under here? Yeah, you can't, because there isn't one. These are 35-inch BF Goodrich KO2s on stock suspension, on stock wheels. They fit perfect, zero issues whatsoever. The suspension has been full articulation, full lock steering, no issues whatsoever. So the question of, can you put 35s on your stock Rubicon? Yeah, absolutely, no issues whatsoever. I think if you haven't already pulled the antenna off of your Jeep and put this little stubby antenna on, that probably was my first modification. Super easy and super cheap. We'll go inside real quick. We don't have a lot going on in here, but we do have this bullet point mounting system that I installed recently. It has been phenomenal. It comes with what you see here, with the action camera mount, the phone holder. It installs with two screws, one on either side. Super easy. My next purchase for this is to get the arm for the radio holder so that I can mount and hold my handheld radio to get out, ground guide, things like that. Radios, we're running GMRS, which really is vastly superior to CB radios, honestly. It does take a license, but it's ridiculously easy to get. It's really more of a fee than anything. In the back, about really the only thing that we've got added back here is the first aid kit and the CPR mask, which is the red container that you see over there. That'll let you do CPR on small children, on stranger. It gets a better seal and really just kind of makes it a lot easier. Super inexpensive, super handy, and really kind of critical. Next thing we've got here, well, we've got a collapsible water bowl for the dog. She really likes her water and she's got to have it. Speaking of, say hello, Dixie. That's Dixie, my plot hound. She's out here helping me film the walk around. No changes to the back of the vehicle. It's stock just like it came from Jeep. Not really a whole lot of really big things to talk about. The Jeep is pretty stock. And of course we've got a helicopter flying over at the wildlife preserve here as we're trying to film, which is pretty typical. But here is my favorite modification that I've done. It's the best top. Okay guys, this thing is awesome. Super easy to deploy. One latch. Come over. 2 latches and bam, tops up. It goes back down the same way. It was super easy to put on. Put it on by myself in the garage. I don't know, maybe an hour if that. No leaks, no issues. Car wash, heavy rains, no real road noise coming from it. I love this thing. This has been my favorite modification by far. Highly recommend the best top to replace your Freedom tops. The Freedom tops are just too much of a hassle. You can't store them in the Gladiator. You have to either take them off and leave them, or put them in a bag in the back of the truck, and that's just not ideal. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Like I said, not really a lot of changes, but the vehicle is super capable. I absolutely love this Jeep Gladiator. If you're considering one, highly recommend it. Now I know we've got some competition coming now with the new Broncos. Very nice vehicles, but this thing, it's a truck, it's a Jeep, it's everything. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your time. If you wouldn't mind, take a second to like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with another episode from the Order of the Traveling Hats.